All right, Tony, here we are. We are back in Blender. When you launched, provided that um, this model was the last thing you had in Blender, it'll come right back to this view. So let's start work. So right now, I think I want to look at how to start roughing in the tentacles. So let's do H with the object selected. We can see it's got the orange outline on it, so it's selected. H to hide it. And then let's look at those tentacles. So you got kind of two coming off the front, two off the side, and I'm assuming two in the back. So he's got 6 tentacles. All right, so 2 off the side is easy, 2 off the front is easy. Okay, I think I got this. So now to bring back the object, we do Option H, brings it back. Now I'm going to go to edit mode, which we can do by simply hitting the tab key. Yeah, oh, it wasn't selected. I apologize. Tab key. Very good. Now I'm going to think about how to bring these guys off of here. So I think the very easiest thing to do is going to be to extrude them out of here. But I may want to add a subdivision in here just to create a gap. But let me look back at your sketch. So I'm going to tab to get the object view, H to hide. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Okay. So I'm going to do Option H to bring it back. Hit tab. Oops, gotta select it. Hit tab again. Our background image went away because we got the camera a little off center. So we should be able to get it back just by going over here to View, resetting it to front. There it is. So anytime you rotate out of the flat plane, that image just disappears. Front. All right, which is okay, actually, with the modeling we're going to do. It's going to do that anyway. But switching down here in the tools to the face select mode, select this face. I'm going to rotate using the mouse by just scrubbing on the top of it. I'm going to go to pretty much a straight on top view. And I'm going to hit the E key to extrude. Bring it out. So that's the start of our tentacle. And I think I'll just bring it out a little bit. And I think I want to quickly scale it down a little bit. So I am going to only scale it. Well, you know what? I'm not going to scale it right this time. I'm going to wait to see what that other face looks like when we extrude it. So I'll hit the A key to deselect everything. Right click on the joining face and come to a similar position. Up here, rotating the view. Hit the E key to extrude. Pull it out. Hit the A key to deselect. Hit the tab key to go to object mode. And then I'm just going to kind of digest this for a second. See what we have there. Going back down to the view. Do front so I can see the sketch again. Then I'm going to do H to hide. And I'm going to do Option H to bring it back. I'm going to do this a couple times. Option H, Option H. Just to kind of get a feel for where things are. Actually, let me go to the navigation view, which is N, to bring that navigation panel open. And this is where we have the images, background image. So remember, I told you I'm going to do Option 8, bring the object back. That by default, the image renders behind the model, but if we come over here to the back and the front buttons for the front image, Luv Death front, just click that and it will render in front of the model. So what I'm trying to see is, are the tentacles starting in the right place? And my fear was like they were too thick. But actually I think thick in terms of their height. But I think we're good. So I'm going to hit Tab to get us back to object modeling, to the edit mode. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to just go back to front again. I just really want to. So you have this one on the right coming out just a little bit and then making a quick turn back to the left. And you kind of have the other one doing just the opposite, but with this right one dominating in the front and being bigger. So I'm just trying to get that in my mind's eye. So as I work with these, I'm kind of doing it right. So the first thing I'm going to do is click that face again, rotate a little bit. I'm going to now use the R key to rotate that face from the top view, like so, and rotate it there a little bit. Then we use the G key, which is grab, to grab it and bring it out a little bit, like so. Going to do the same thing with this guy. Can rotate him, so can select him, get in the top view, R to rotate, and just slowly swivel it to where we want. Going to do G again to grab it, G grab. Going to hit A to deselect everything, Tab to get back to object mode, View down here to go to front so we can see the sketch. And I think we are off to a good start for now. Excellent. So I'm going to hit Tab. What I'm going to do is, actually I want to go back to front. Just trying to get a sense of how quickly this left one pops out even more to the left. I'm having a hard time holding that in my mind's eye. Okay. Very quickly. So I'm going to go to Edge Selection Tool down here. That center one, click on it, select it, then I'm going to select this edge. I want to start making this guy a little skinnier right out of the gate. So I'm going to go to the top view, using just, scrubbing on the top of your mouse there. G, and I'm going to pull it that way a little bit and pull it out this way. G again. Good. I'm liking that. So now I'm going to do A to deselect everything. I'm going to come back down here to the grab, or the face select. Click that. I'm going to select this face. I'm going to extrude that with the E key. Pull it out a little bit. Okay. Looking good. I'm liking what we got so far. Now let's go back to the view, to the front, and excellent. So this guy's pretty good. I'm going to pull this back a little bit that way. A little more, actually, now that I'm looking at this. And then what we're going to do is rotate this a little bit towards that, so we get that change in direction happening where it's going to loop back. Then I'm going to extrude a little bit. We're going to do an R again to rotate that even more. And I see it went in on the other part of the object, which creates this little divot, this little spoon shape there. That's okay, because we're just going to, from the top view here, we're just going to, if I can ever get this fairly straight, there we go. We're going to do G key and start to pull this out like so. See, we got that action happening now. So let's go to the front view, see how that looks compared to your sketch. Pretty good, but we need to bring it down a little bit, like so. And then we've got that tentacle, see it's right up here. Your sketch is down here, so I've got this tentacle too fat right out of the gate. So let's fix that first. So we'll do that by hitting A to deselect faces. Then we're going to come up and we're going to select this face right here. And then we're just going to use the blue arrow for Z, which is up and down, to just bring this down a little bit. And let's go to view and look at your front view. Oh, pretty good, pretty tight. So let's go rotate that a little bit. I think we're looking good. Just look at this more. Kind of liking that. We got a little bit of a crease in here that I actually think is, you know, natural in how you've kind of sketched it. But we can tweak that more later. So it's a good start. Gonna hit tab. Now we have some flatness going on here. Right there on the tentacle, and that's because we need to come in, get the edge select tool, tab A to deselect everything. We're going to grab this edge and we're going to pull it up into the front a little bit. So orient your view so you're kind of facing this plane that's the end of his tentacle straight on. Hit the G key to grab, and then we're just going to pull it out like that. Hit tab. Now we've like puffed that out so it doesn't look so flat anymore. Going back to your front view, I'm going to see how we're going to do that little curl up right there. So it's going to take a couple extrusions, and then we'll have that little whip up. Totally awesome. Okay, so let's rotate a little bit to get rid of your sketch. Hit tab to get into the edit mode here. Hit the face select tool down here. Click this face. Take this to rotate it to each of the top. I'm going to extrude. Oh, shoot. Hit the wrong key, so when you do that, just Command Z. Hit the extrude key. Bring that out a little bit, and your tentacle begins to taper here. And it's getting fat right now. So let's just do a couple things to fix that. I'm going to scale this. For starters, so S key, scale that in. That's probably too much, I'm going to bet. So I'm going to hit S again, pull it a little bit out. I'm going to now extrude again, so E key, bring it out. And I think what I'll do is I'll undo that. I want to redo that. So I did undo E again, bring it out just a little bit. E again, bring it out a little bit. Then from the side here, I'm going to go to hit A to deselect. Go down here to the vertex select tool, so we're just grabbing the vertices. Turn on that X-ray view and use the C key for circle select. Come in here, and I'm going to select just the parts that catch the end box there of his tentacle. And then we're going to move that a little bit up and rotate it as well. So I think I'll do the rotate first. So get it in kind of a side view, hit R, rotate, going to go kind of extreme here, then grab, whoops, bad, and G for grab, bringing it up, looking good. I can do A to deselect. Now I'm going to go back to the face select tool. Going to turn off that X-ray mode. Going to select the topmost part here. And I'm just going to pull it up. And then scale it. So S. I'm going to shrink it down. And then I'm going to go to front view so we can see your sketch. Okay, cool. So I'm way higher than what you have sketched. But that's okay, because we can now, what I'm going to do is kind of come over here to the side a little bit. Going to choose, try to figure out what tools are best to use here. I'm going to do an edge select. And we're going to do that edge loop select. So as I'm getting ready to click on this edge here with the right mouse, I'm going to hold down the Option key and click, and it selected that whole loop right there. And then I'm going to use the C key. I'm just going to select that top part. So now we have all of that selected. And we're just going to rotate all of that a little bit more. So it goes more like this. Grab it, bring it in a little bit. I'm going to scale it down a little bit. So hit S, scale it, And I'm going to deselect, so I hit A, and I just want to select that top face. Now I'm going to zoom in on the view. So remember that is the control key, and then you just scrub with your mouse. Now it's gone off camera. So now we do the shift key and slide with your mouse, or scroll if you have a scroll wheel. And zoom in again. Good deal. Now I'm going to get the face select key, face select that, getting to rotate this a bit so we can kind of see it in that side view. And I'm going to hit R to rotate that face. Going to go about right there. G, bring it down. So let's compare that then to your sketch. So we'll go to front view. Ah, look at that. Pretty tight. We got that almost lined up with your sketch. This part down here needs to be a little fatter, which is easy to do. So what we're going to do is go to edit mode, and we're going to grab this little edge right here because that's the problem child. So switch to edge select tool, right click on that guy, come over here a little bit, and you can see it instantly begins to flatten as it's coming out of this nice round shape and kind of goes into this nice round shape here. That this line, that edge needs to come outward. So we're going to do that. So do G, bring it out. See, we're getting nice and fat. Now let's do front view. Check that against your sketch. Pretty spot on. So I'm going to hit A, not A, hit Tab to go back into object view. I'm actually going to select this edge here because I'm thinking it's looking a little fat on the back side there. So I'm thinking if we pull this up, we'll get it kind of spot on with your sketch. Yep, and we can even bring it a little bit out. Then we could play with hit A to deselect, then we can grab, I'm thinking let's grab a vertex. So come to your vertex select tool, vertex select tool. We're going to click this vertex right there. And then we're going to grab with the G key, just bring it in a bit. We've really aped your sketch so far. But now I can see over here, you have this nice kind of squishy volume, softness, this very fleshiness about it in your sketch that's being lost with the roundness, excuse me, of the model so far. So we're going to try and put that mass back in here. So first I'm going to hold down the shift key and just scrub on the mouse to bring that part back into view. And I think this is another point where we can just grab this vertex right here and grab it with the G key, start to pull it out, get that there. Pretty sweet. Now you can see that we have that lined up. We can see this top part is too fat. So I think we're going to need to move an edge down rather than just a point, or we might move a series of points or vertices. I'm just going to take a look at this for a second. Rotate a bit, and I'm going to shift and scrub down so that we can get a little more in view. Like right there, and I'm going to go back to the front view, look at your sketch. So definitely this edge has to come down for starters. So let's do that. Let's go to the edge select tool down here. Right click on that guy, bring it down. Let's go to your front view, see how close we're getting. Come down some more, so let's do that. Now at this point, I think we need to come over and do this back edge here. So I'm going to hit A to deselect that one. Right click on this one. Let's start to bring it down. There we go. Got it. All right, again, pretty nice. So let's leave off on that tool for the moment. So we'll hit Tab. Let's then use your control and your mouse to zoom. So we'll zoom out a bit, then shift and use the mouse to bring it into view. Now let's rotate him towards so we can see his top. And here's where you have to make a call as the artist, I think. based on your sketch, this first part of his tentacle is like way ridiculously far out there. I think the way I was reading your sketches, this would be rather short and stubby. So I'm going to assume that's the case. And hit tab to go back to edit. Now I'm going to use the C key to get the circle selection. And what you can do, you can resize the circle selection tool. So all you have to do is scrub on the mouse surface, either down, or if you're using the scroll wheel, scroll down or up, and it keeps getting bigger. And I just want to get it big enough to like kind of get all this in one fell swoop. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to deselect, right click off of the object, because I just realized we need to put on that X-ray mode, or we're not going to select all of the edges. So now I'm going to hit C. I forgot how big I got it. So go back, that's a good size right there. I'll select that, I'll select that. Gonna leave it right there. And then I'm gonna G to grab, kind of bring this in again. And I'm gonna do A to turn off all of that, deselect it. Now I'm gonna go in and grab the point tool, hit C again. Just make sure I get these. Because before I also had these points. As I was moving that in, I don't want them right now. So I'm just going to do G, bring that in a little bit, and get A to deselect. So let's look at it from your front view so you can get a look at your sketch. Okay, so now we got some interesting stuff happening where we've lost that placement from the front. So that might be okay, and the reason being is we're looking at this in orthographic view rather than perspective. So let's hit tab to go to the object view, come down here to the view tab, go up to this view ortho, perspective ortho, and change it to perspective view. That's a little extreme as far as perspective goes. Let's see here, where can I change that? I'm not sure if I can change it here, but let me see if I can quickly. Yeah, there we go. So this is our lens, literally, that we're looking through. I'm just going to try and make this a little more of a telephoto lens. So I'm going to shoot it up to around like a 50. Let's see what happens. Oh crap, that's not working. It's just zooming. That is not what I wanted at all. Whoops. So I'm going to go back to the 35. That's interesting. That's interesting. It's only interesting because that's not a true, not treating it as a lens there. It's just treating it as a zoom. Or not a zoom, as a, well, I guess it is kind of a zoom. But the wrong kind of zoom. Damn it. So I'm going back to view, view perspective ortho, top again. And you notice I undid that by accident, the movement and placement I had going on here. So let me go back to vertex select, do the C key again, come in, grab these guys, move it in like so. Okay, I'm gonna hit A, gonna hit C again, make this a little smaller by just pulling on the mouse. And I'm gonna come in, grab these four guys. I want to move this out just to get a nicer volume there. And I'm going to hit A to deselect, and then I want to clear up this fatness going in here. So I'm going to hit C, select just those guys, those 2 points. G to bring that in. Looking good, a little more organic. Made me realize like that nice swipe curve we have there, we should get one in here that's looking too flat. So I'm going to hit A to deselect. I'm going to do the C key to select the circle tool, and then grab those two vertices, and then do G. I'm going to bring those in a little bit. Try and keep that kind of nice action happening. Then I'm going to mirror that. So hit A to deselect. I want to pull these out to get the same effect going here. So C key, select those guys, G to pull them out. Looking okay right there. Hit A. Going to bring this guy in a little bit, so I'm going to hit C and choose those two vertices and do G, move it in a little. And this is all the kind of tweaking that you as the creator can do as we're doing this along, and do it completely, differently to get the right volumes and shapes you want. I'm just extrapolating from your sketch, and I could be totally way off base. Gonna hit A, tab. That's looking pretty damn sweet. Now I'm going to save, which I should have been doing all along. And we'll pause for a moment, and I will save another movie for you.